I'll start by looking at the weekly chart of Dogecoin here. Just a couple things to point out. One is we've actually had 3 consecutive up weeks, which is the first time since the beginning of April. So it does show a trend change for Dogecoin after last week's explosive, well, somewhat explosive move. So let's turn to the daily chart here. And basically what I see developing is one of the things that I had articulated in the past that was necessary for Dogecoin was to claim the 50-day simple moving average on a closing basis. Otherwise, I didn't feel that it was an actionable opportunity and that the risk was more to the downside than the upside. Clearly on Saturday, we had a major move of 28%. We got the daily close above. Some might say that, yeah, it's over, and the high on Sunday, which was at spot 288, was it. Maybe that's the case. Maybe that is the case. But I think from a bigger perspective, we could be shaping here a cup with handle pattern where we're now in the handle formation. We do have it correcting from down to here, just about 50%. This handle right now, as it's being formed, is being formed in the upper 50% of the cup area, which is all constructive. It's also, of course, developing above the 50-day simple moving average, which now is flattened and turned up slightly. So that's bullish. We have the 200-day simple moving average providing support. So like we talked about with earlier coins, now areas that were resistance have been support, and that is the case with Dogecoin, forming a constructive base that has a high probability of bullish outcomes, like a cup with handle, supported by key moving averages, is indeed bullish. One of the things that stands out also is that this move from the close on August 6th to the high on the Sunday of spot 288 it was about a 40% move off the lows, which when you compare it to Shiba Inu is about the same thing. So they both responded that day to the market in the same fashion, which shouldn't be a surprise considering how they do at times traffic together and have been recently in terms of this price action, zero price movement for more than a couple of weeks here from the end of July into early August. On the upside, we're looking at a 44% move in terms of the measured move of the cup with handle base, which would take us up to about spot 417, which is below the 50% retracement of the entire correction that we saw this year. If the momentum's there, we could track to the 50% retracement at spot 457, but which would also correlate with these highs over here from the early June. So that would be your maximum upside if we get a breakout above the handle, which is right here at spot 288, which is very close to this high at spot 291. So overall, Dogecoin is constructive. In my opinion, it still needs to prove itself. It hasn't accomplished that much yet. As long as it stays above the 50-day moving average and these particular four highs, starting with July 1st at spot 218, this high at spot 220, this high here at spot 221 or 222, and then again 220. If these highs here hold on a daily closing basis, which correlates well with the 50-day simple moving average right now, which comes in at 2169, everything should wrap up to be bullish for Dogecoin. Anything below that level, we get down to the 200-day, and anything below that introduces the potential for a new correction low for Dogecoin.
Okay. Sounds reasonable enough. Yeah, so the first thing I want to point out here is that Shiba Inu, Dogecoin. So this idea came to me when you mentioned Shiba Inu now. So I think meme coins were the last to experience this rally here, because a lot of altcoins started rallying around July 20th, right? And Dogecoin kind of stayed, but rallied only the first half, and then the second half was a disaster for Dogecoin because it consolidated and then moved lower. The same thing was seen in Shiba Inu as well. So kind of tend to believe that Dogecoin and the other meme coins, which kind of rely on hype and frenzy, of the market only gain. Oh my God, I ran off my train of thoughts is messed up. So I think right now Dogecoin and Shiba Inu, which are basically the meme coins, are rallying last. And once they kind of gain enough traction, they're going to surpass the normal altcoins or the normal cryptocurrencies, is what I was trying to say. But moving on from that, right now, Dogecoin is currently facing trouble, surpassing this particular supply zone here, which ranges from 0.25 to 0.29. And this is important, but not as important as, or not as significant as this particular level here, which is a bearish breaker, because of the way it rallied. So it was forming, so it set up a swing high here, which was a lower high, and then it set up a higher high, which kind of lured a lot of long people who wanted a long, and then it eventually broke down below it, right? And the first retest of this led to a massive downswing. Although the second retest is kind of translated into a downswing, I don't think this is going to be as uh, deep as this particular correction that we saw here. So I'm expecting Dogecoin to either consolidate here, bounce off of this $20.23 level here, and then give it another shot at reaching this particular bearish breaker, which ranges from 0.28 to 0.31. But any close above this level will open the path up to 0.40, which is a significant level. And in some cases, it could even rise up to the 0.44 level. As for the downside, I don't want to see it break below the 0.23 level. As you can see, like it was a support here, then finally broke below it, was resistance, and now we finally flipped it, and now it's acting as a support again. So going below this would generally be bad for the bulls. So this is what I'm looking at for Doge.